Welcome to Stroke, the Art of Mental Stimulation. You got D-Love on the mic today. You guys know what time it is. We touch subjects at depths that most people aren't willing to go. We keep it real, raw, and honest and transparent. And, of course, you know it's time to get stroked up. Today, we're going to do something a little special today, man. It's a special occasion, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. But first off, you know, sometimes we tell stories on here, and then sometimes you're able to connect the dots because we'll tell another story and you're able to put them together. So I want to share something with you guys today. Excuse me. I was thinking, but I had to be like 23 years old. You know how young kids are. I saw the world. It was a big, vast world. I had big dreams. And I had a mother that was behind me, and she believed in everything I did. If I said I wanted to do it, she went out of her way to make sure that it happened. Even if, you know, it wasn't right, it wasn't correct, and my mind was set on it, and I said I want to do it, she was there. So I had an opportunity to move out of state to kind of chase my dreams, well, what I thought my dream was at the time. And a few weeks before that, I didn't have a vehicle. My mother, she went with me. We searched high and low for a vehicle. We got one. I didn't have any credit. I didn't know anything about credit. I didn't care about credit. Of course, they don't even teach about credit in school. So all I knew is I needed something, I wanted something, and mother provided, as usual. So we got the car. I went to Atlanta. I worked in the car. I did everything in the car, but paid a note on the car. You know, I couldn't afford it. I barely could afford food, barely could afford the place that I was staying. So I left my mother with two car notes, two insurances. She had to pay her bills, rent, grocery, gas, all that other stuff. So, you know, I kind of put her in a bind. And one day, I think I told you guys about a car accident I had in Atlanta. 5 people were in that car. We all survived, not a scratch. That's the day that death became real to me. But that car was totaled out. Insurance paid it off, so it kind of gave my mother some relief. And at the time, you know, I wasn't thinking about that. I'm upset like, man, I don't have a car. Because the check only covered the cost of the car. But I didn't know my mother was praying to God to help her out, that, you know, she was being stretched too thin. And she prayed and God delivered. So sometimes you never know the prayer another person have, a situation you may think is bad, but in the end, God might be doing work for another person. But me sharing that story is like, just my mother, man, that's what they do. You know, they come through when no one else comes through. They're there when nobody else is there, whether you're right or wrong, you make mistakes. You can be in your darkest moments, your best moments. Mama's going to be there, man. They kind of like give us the breath that we breathe. And that's what we're talking about today. Today we are celebrating motherhood, the people who give us life. And I actually got a special guest on here today who's kind of like a prime example of that. She supersedes expectations of what motherhood is considered. Some might even call her superwoman. And that's Anna D. Douglas we have on here. And that D, it can stand for determined. That D can stand for devoted. That D can stand for, I don't even know, man, dependable. She embodies it all. Today we have Anna Douglas on here. How you doing, Anna?
I'm doing okay. Grateful to be on here today with you.
Oh, man, I'm happy to have you. You just don't know, man. You don't realize how many people you kind of inspire. I see you around. I see how you mother your child. I see the love you show him. And I kind of want the world to get into, I want you to be transparent with us today and have a chance to get down into your head, your heart, you know, and let them know what that's like for a mother in this world. The first thing I want to say is, how old were you when you first realized that you was about to enter into motherhood?
I was 20 years old.
And for a lot of people out there, you got a lot of young people who this happens to. Get down in it. What goes through a mother's head at 20? What thoughts were going through your head when you knew that was something that you was about to enter into, something brand new into your life?
Fear. You automatically get scared. You start to worry about how you're going to need to change your life for your child and what things you need to be ready for. At 20 years old, you have to be ready, so it's something that you have to do.
So it's like, at 20 you're still fairly young. It's like all that, the childhood thoughts, all the stuff you used to do, maybe you used to go out, maybe you used to have fun. The child becomes their sole priority, is what you're saying, in a parent's life?
Yes, exactly. Once you have a child, that's your top priority. That's really your only priority.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your son. How old is he? What do you like to do? You know, tell us a little bit about motherhood, your experience with him.
It's wonderful. I love being a mom. It's like my greatest joy in the world. I have one son. His name is STROK'D Douglas. He's 15 years old. From the moment he was born, he matured me in a way that I'm so thankful for him. He plays football. He's smart. He's respectful. He's just everything I could have wanted in a kid, even though I wanted a girl at first. But it worked out. It's nothing like a son's love.
God's plan. God, man, I knew you needed a son's love. What they say, daddy's girl and mother's boy.
Exactly.
Mama's boy. So I know Jakara is happy to have you in his life. single motherhood, right?
Yes, I am.
So what is that like? A lot of people, they try to, they swim around that. Like a lot of men that's out there in this world, I know y'all feel like, y'all don't have to be there. Mothers have to be there. They can't just up and go. They can't just up and run. They have to be in the space. When the child is sick, they have to be there. They have to take out work. A lot of guys, they kind of, in and out when they want to be. What's that like for a mother as far as like single motherhood? Like what are some of the thoughts that go through your head when it comes to that child not probably having that other parent like right there at all times?
It's hard. You try to do everything so the child can never feel that missing parent. Mm-hmm. So I would say to all men that if you do know a mother that's acting as a single mom and you're still alive and well, I would encourage you to reach out and see if she needs anything or just a babysitter or rides to practice, because it's very hard for a single mom trying to work and take care of your child by yourself.
Okay, what message would you, and I'm not doing this to knock fathers because there's some great fathers out there, but we just really being honest, getting off into it. What message you want to give when it comes to fathers who may not have a lot of money and they think that, oh, because I don't have money, I don't want to show up for my kid. I can't buy this, I can't buy that. Because a lot of men define themselves by how much money they make and what they can provide. But what do you think when it comes to a child, how you think they view that? Do they really care about how much money their parent is spending, or they really care more about the time?
No, money has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's all about spending time with your child, knowing your child, just being a father in any way that you can, teaching them how to maneuver through the world as a man. It's certain things only men can do with their sons.
Right. You think the mothers can't show, you can teach them all you can show them right from wrong, but at the end of the day, you're just not a man.
Right. It's all about building that bond and making good, respectable men. It's not at all about money.
Okay. So when it comes to your son now, you say he's 15. He's finna be 16 soon?
Yeah, in June. He have his 16th birthday, June the 7th. He's a Gemini like his mother, of course.
So I want to ask you this. When it comes to the world we live in now, it's a little different with these kids now. It's a lot different. It's a lot of violence in the world now. It may have always been violence, but now it's more on display because we have social media. The world moves a little faster. What kind of concerns do you have when rearing a son in this new era where there's a lot of violence and he has to still go out there and be in that world? Do you shelter him? Do you send him out and you kind of let him get those experiences? And also explain the thoughts and the words that may go through your mind when he goes out there.
It's hard. I mean, having a son in 2023 with all the gang violence and him being a boy is just constant on your mind. If he leave the house, you're thinking about him. When is he going to come home? So what I do, I try to keep him busy. Like he's always at football practice or football camp or anywhere. Whatever he likes to do, I like it to be at home. All his friends are always over. I'm the cool mom. They spend the night. I cook for him. So anything to try to keep him home and in my eyesight. But I will say that I do give him leeway to go places because I want him to be his own person. I mean, he's going to go off and go to college. I don't want him leaning on me. So I do let him go out by himself every now and again, but it's hard. Like you have to really keep an eye on your children, your sons, who they're around. So I'm always checking. I'm always calling. He's like, Mom, please quit calling me, but I have to call and hear his voice. But we have an understanding. He knows to let me know if he's gone and when he's coming back and answer the cell phone.
Seems like you are bringing up a very responsible young man. Do you think it takes an emotional toll on kids when another parent is missing out of their life? Like, do you see some of the effects of that in your son's life?
Yes, I do. I see that it bothers him, like not having the support from a father or...
Right, or like a male figure. Do you have another male figure that maybe... that helps him out, or are you saying just mainly the father? It's different with, I guess, any male figure and your father. I don't care who's there, who's around. Everybody wants their own parent. You want your own parent.
Yeah, well, he has his granddad. He's always had him, and they are very close. Like I say, his granddad fills in for everything, but it still is like he still wants that from a father as well.
Right. That's something that he probably carry along and something he probably have to deal with. Like, he going to always come face to face with that issue because innately we all want our parents to be a part of our life. But we're going to get back to his son or whatever, but I want to get back to you too. I mean, he can only be proud of you because, I mean, you got a degree, but you got a 4-year degree in what?
In business
Business
administration.
administration. So you set the example for them. You let them know no matter what adversity is in life, you still keep pushing, you still keep striving. And mother got a degree, mother got successful. Sorry, guys, business. So man, I mean, you're really doing your thing. I just want you to know that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. How important do you think it is a role to play as a mother with a daughter? What role does a mother play in a daughter's life? Do you think that's important as far as shaping a woman to be who she is?
Oh, yes, extremely important. I think a mother should be a role model for what their daughters are expected to be. I mean, you can't tell your daughter to do things or dress a certain way or be a certain way and you're not living their lifestyle. Little girls look up to their moms and they mimic what they do. So being a mother of a daughter, I think that is harder than being a mother of a son.
So that's probably why a lot of people, you see mama's boy, but it seems like it's always a little strife for mothers and daughters. They always have this relationship, this push and pull, no matter how that relationship comes about, whether they're in the house or they don't live with them. It's always something between mothers and daughters. You think that's what it is? Maybe the mother is kind of hard on the daughter sometimes because she's looking at her as, you know, herself from the past and she wants her to be better sometimes, or what do you think that is?
Exactly. I think that's the reason why it's hard to tell a child what to do when you're not doing it yourself. But if you have lived and you have grown and you've learned, I think that you should try to.
You think she should try to what? Like teach your daughter that? You talking about as far as the daughter?
Well, you want to tell them about your past experiences so they won't go through the same things. But sometimes mothers try not to tell their daughters about what they've been through because they don't want to look a certain way. But I feel like forget all of that. This is all about raising a good woman in society. You want to tell them everything so it won't be any surprises so they can understand where you're coming from. Like,
total transparency.
Yeah, total exactly.
So what about the situations where I see where it's mothers, they had a great life, they live a great life, they have a lot of accolades, and I mean, they didn't have a colored past, and you know, they still have strife with the daughter. I don't know what that is. Maybe just teenage years or something. Maybe the daughter just don't want to hear it. You know, you could be so good, you can teach people sometime, but they still their own person at the end of the day.
Well, you know, daughters in teenage years had those hormones, so they have an attitude anyway. But, you know, we all had them, but
I think that's daughters and sons, man. Everybody got attitudes in teenagers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because you want to do things, you want to go out, and you got boundaries and rules, and it's like, I want to go out now, and your mother or your father is like, no, you can't do that. And you like, that's when you kind of get your personality. You're not grown, but you kind of feel like you are. I remember that age. I thought I knew it all, man. I mean, a lot of times we know a little more than what parents give us credit for. I tell people all the time, man, I had this friend, and he has his daughter. And, I'd be like, she know a little more than what you think she knows. She's still playing that daughter-kid role. I used to do that. She's playing the role she's supposed to play with you, but, she know a little more about the world than what you think.
Right.
It has to do with the internet, too, man. Like, you got to teach your kids before the internet teaches you.
Exactly. I feel the same way.
Right. Is there any plans in the future to have more kids?
No, I'm not going to have any more.
Oh, you just know you done, huh?
One and done.
One and done. Okay, when it comes to a parent, getting back, because I said I'd come back to the single motherhood, do you think that you find yourself trying to overcompensate, like maybe your son is so-called quote-unquote spoiled, you overcompensate, you try to give him more because you think of like, oh, because he don't have this and he don't have that. You think a lot of mothers do that?
Yes, I think I did. I definitely got him spoiled. I try to, fulfill everything he needs.
Is that possible?
No.
Everything in your power is what you're saying. Right?
Yeah, everything that I have control over, I try to be there, especially support. I always make sure I'm there to support him. But I always let him know, too, there are no excuses because even though you may not have certain people in your life, God puts people in your life around you.
Right. God gonna always make a way. I mean, he always had the right person at the right time, put you in the right place, and open the right doors, man. That's kind of like how God works. When it comes to your son also, how do you prepare him for the future? What kind of things do you tell him? What kind of things do you talk to him about? As far as the day that he's going to be independent from you and it's just going to be you out there in the world as a man and you're not a man, what do you kind of say to him?
I always tell him to keep God first. I tell him that he should be independent, know how to do things on his own. I show him how to cook, wash clothes, clean up.
Total independence.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to know everything. He needs to be equipped for the world because You know, he won't always have me to do that. So we practice at homes. I let him cook sometimes, and I give him chores. He also responsible for washing and cleaning out the car and cutting grass. So
seems like you're getting a big break. Do I need to hire him?
Well-deserved break.
A well-deserved break, man. Like I say, mothers, at the end of the day, man, I done had some of the darkest moments in my life, and the only person I can turn to is my mother. Like, she's seen me at the bottom. When I say at the bottom, where, like, I thought only God could see me like that. And a mother, they never turn your back on you.
That's true.
I've seen mothers who stuck by their sons or daughters or whatever. They committed crimes. Mother's still in that courtroom crying right there with them. They got a life sentence, and mother's still in there hugging onto her baby. It's like you could do no wrong.
Nothing
can stop that bond between a mother and her kids, man. So a young girl come to you right now. You got a young girl. She's 17 years old. She come to you and say, hey, Miss Anna, I just found out I'm pregnant. I'm going into motherhood. I don't know what to do. You know, I know this is about to be the most important thing in my life. So, I mean, what advice would you give a young person that's entering into motherhood like that?
I would tell her to keep God first. I mean, that's who helped me through everything. I know I keep saying it, but God is what helped me get through any of my situations. And I would tell her that God wouldn't put anything on her that she can bear, and she'll be fine.
Right. As long as you put God first, he can lead you, and he really provides everything. Is what you're saying?
Yes, everything.
Okay, man. I mean, you seem like you really could, you know, being around you, you could mentor young mothers, though. Like, when I tell you, I've never seen one like parent to the extent of you, like everything, emotionally you there. I mean, you're willing to put your son in front of any place he needs to be. If he having issues, you put him in front of the person that he needs to speak with. Like, you're not ashamed or not afraid of that. Like, any tool that he needs, you provide him. A lot of people don't do that.
I appreciate that. I actually would like to get into something like that. I mean, I'm the lady that's at the school and the games, and all the girls are around. They want to talk to me, and they come and sit with me, and they want to play with my hair. So I would actually like to get into something where I'm mentoring young girls, teenage girls, adopted girls, or girls without a mother and a father who feel left out. I really would like to branch off into something like that.
Wow, let's not branch off. Let's make it happen. Y'all hear that on the mic right now, today. I don't know what today's date is, but right now, today, y'all hear it, man. That's something we finna get the ball rolling on. You know you can't say nothing like that to me.
Of course not. You've always ready to go.
We about to get that ball rolling, man. That's amazing. We need more of that in the world, but we need more. It starts in our communities, man. Young girls to have somebody to look up to. And another thing I'm glad you mentioned, and before, like I said, I try not to keep people long on here. I want to say, when I say motherhood, and you just brought it up, when I say that means biologically, whether you adopt a kid, I don't care if it's your God kid, your God kid. If you have any kind of impact in a kid's life like that, you're a mother. I mean, you're a mother. You show them love, protection. You're a mother. I don't care if it's auntie or best friend or whatever in your child's life. You're a mother, man. So we're giving it up for you too. Pat yourself on the back. Sometimes take a break. Mothers need to breathe too, man. I think a lot of times people don't look at that. Mothers don't get a lot of breaks.
Oh, no, no.
Mothers don't get a lot of break. They don't get a lot of downtime. It's all the time with their kids. It's kind of like 24/7. So what's one thing before we get out of here, or a couple things, whatever you think, some self-care that you think that mothers could do to get some of that alone time or just do something for themselves? What do you do, or do you do it at all?
My self-care, I love to get my nails done by myself, go and get massages, take walks. It's very important for a mother to nurture herself as well, because if you're not in the right state of mind, how can you have your child in the right state of mind? So you always want to go to church. You want to take private time. You want to plan everything. So a good way to plan stuff is getting a massage, relaxing, freeing your mind. Self-care is very important for a mother, and I believe anybody should help, like, make sure a mother has
that kind of care.
Has that self-care. The support system.
Right. A lot of people, I think a lot of mothers, too, pride come into it. They don't like asking for help a lot of times.
That's true. It's a lot of pride that comes in motherhood, so you really have to offer. You have to reach out. Hey, can I keep the baby a few hours? You know, why don't you go get your hair done? You have to try to help them, because it's a lot of pride with motherhood. They feel like they'll think they're failing if they reach out or try to get help from someone.
You're not a failure. If you need help, you need a break, reach out. We're a village. If you see a mother, you see she's tired, you see she's possibly stressed, reach out. Because one thing about it, like I always tell, I'm an auntie. One thing about it, I can always get them kids back.
Right.
You can always give them back.
The best auntie.
Right. So reach out sometimes and say, hey, this is a challenge I'm about to give everybody right now. This is a Mother's Day special. And when you see a mother, the gift to her is say, hey, I'm keeping your kids this weekend. I'm watching the kids this weekend. Take a weekend for yourself. You know, sometimes that's all they need. It's not nothing big. Just step up to them and give them some time. Time is what mothers need a lot of the time, man, because they don't get a lot of it. But I want to say, Anna, thank you for being here. It's very appreciated.
You're welcome.
Thank you for opening up parts of yourself and being transparent. And I want you to know that probably when we get off of here, I'm about to start looking into opening up that foundation in the community for you, because I did not know that was something you was looking forward to do. You'll be the perfect person.
Of course. That'll be perfect.
The perfect person for that, man. Hopefully we'll have you back one day, because I kind of want to get into that finance side of you. When I tell you when it comes to money and managing money and budgeting, this is who I lean on right here, man. When I say she's A1 at that, I mean, she has a business in it. I mean, she has the credit repair and all that. But when it comes to money, finance, and budgeting, this is my go-to right here, guys.
Oh, yes. I love to be back. Whenever you want me, I'll come.
All right, now I have you on here every week. You better watch yourself.
Well, let me check my schedule first.
You see how organized she is, man. I ain't playing with that. But thank you guys for being on here and listening to us tonight. You guys already know what just happened to you. You just got stroked up. Bye.